In fact, there are more kids who have been exposed to gun violence, estimated at 3 million, than there are transgender Americans of all ages in total. Targeting trans people isn't new. It is an age-old tradition, which Nazi Germany did with brutally violent ends in the 1930s. While the Supreme Court refuses to do anything about weapons of war in schools, today they seemed inclined to uphold Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. While the decision is not expected for months, a majority of the justices parroted a string of debunked talking points, all under the guise of protecting the kids, just not every kid.
Now, Shamika, the Biden administration is supporting the ACLU in its Supreme Court action, arguing that it's unconstitutional for Tennessee to stop youngsters having so-called gender-affirming care. Let's hear from one of the ACLU lawyers, a woman who now identifies as a man. This is Chase Strangio.
I would say is nobody has to provide this medication to adolescents. These are not doctors being forced to provide this medication. These are doctors who are wanting to treat their patients in the best way that they know how, based on the best available evidence to us. And these are young people who may have known since they were 2 years old exactly who they are, who suffered for 6-7 years before they had any relief. And what's happening here, it's not the kids who are consenting to this treatment, it's the parents who are consenting to the treatment.
Shamika, your reaction to that. 2-year-olds know they're in the wrong body, according to that lawyer, and we should allow the parents to inflict these irreversible treatments on confused children. We don't let parents inflict tattoos on 6-year-olds or 9-year-olds. We don't let parents do a whole bunch of stuff to kids because it's not in the interest of the child. But when it comes to this so-called gender-affirming care, some of these activists have got some very warped ideas.
Absolutely, Rita. I need to just put this on because we're living in clown world. When you think that a 2-year-old can actually make that decision when a child 16, they can't drive until they're 16, they can't vote until they're 18, they can't drink until they're 21, but you think a 2-year-old can make such a life-changing decision, something has to be wrong with your mental capacity. But this is what we're dealing with here in America. And it's crazy because I remember in 2018, I said this was happening and people argued me down on social media saying maybe it's happening in other countries, but it's not happening here. Because when you give the left an inch, they take a mile to actually put these children in the predicament to be castrated at such young age, knowing that this can never be reversed, is very sad. And my heart goes out to these children. When a child says, I want to be Superman, we don't push them out of a building to see if they can fly. So the fact that we think that a young child can make such a life-changing decision and the adults in the room are not acting like adults, it's really sad, because if we don't step in and protect them as in the government, that's why I'm so grateful Trump will be the next president again. Who's going to save these children? Because the parents are not in the right mind frame to actually be parents.
You're so right. We've spoken to detransitioners on this program, including Chloe Cole, a very, very brave young woman who started this irreversible treatment. I think she was only 12 or 13, had a double mastectomy at 15, her healthy breasts removed. At 18, she was detransitioning, identifying as female again, but now she has no breasts. She can never breastfeed her children. She fears she's infertile from all the drugs she's taken and the treatments, and she's got lifelong medical issues. And again, that doesn't get talked about enough, the fact that we're making lifelong medical clients from these treatments.